Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have a requested video and these are for these lunch sacks that I cover with paper and put pockets in. This one here is just made out of a digital from Anne over at Curious Moon Design. I did some of these from her sewing digital, which is cool that you can use pretty much anything. But yeah, so I have my request is from I'm not sure if her name is Meg, but it's Chasing Retro. So she asked if I could share how to make these bags with these sheet protectors. She has some to use up as well, so this will be fun to see her take on them. These here, I used the tracing paper, which is the 45-pound, and that is here that I get at Hobby Lobby. When I get a chance to go to Hobby Lobby, it's like an hour away. I always go down that aisle where the paints and paper is to see if this is on sale. Lately they've been kind of stingy with that kind of stuff, but when you can get it on sale, that's the time to buy it, because this is like 50 sheets. It's 45-pound and it'll last you a really long time. It's really thick. It's like vellum but cheaper than vellum. I've got 2 sheets there, but so yeah, take advantage of that when you can get a deal. So go over and check out Chasing Retro's channel. She has a YouTube and she has a Etsy shop, but I'll put her information in the description. So thank you for that. This is the vellum. I just cut it down for the pockets. And this one here, I die cut for a pocket as well. So let me just get rid of some stuff. And I just used a border die for that. So I have 3 to make. This will be a long video. These are the sheet protectors. I got this whole box. I want to say it was, I don't even remember. Probably, if I know, excuse me, Goodwill, it's probably like $3.99. Sorry, I just had my breakfast, so. But yeah, but it would go a long way. This whole box is going to go a long way. I already pulled some out, so. And I just cut them down with my paper cutter. All right, let me get rid of these. And I do have my sewing machine over here because I use that as well. Let me just show you how I cut these down. I don't know the size of these bags. I have an abundance of these. That's why I'm trying to use them up. Little over 6 1/4 wide, and then up to this top pocket here, it's 7 1/4, and then 8 all the way up to here. So basically I cut my paper, my digital, or whatever I'm using in the background, 6 by 7. So I pulled out 3 because I have 3 to make, and I'm going to use this one here. And I'm sorry, I don't know the paper packs they came from. I'll try to remember to put them in the link if you're interested in. So I have butterflies in kind of a pastel and gold. And then I have this Christmas one, which is kind of a background, so I'm going to chop it down. And then I have this one here. It just spoke to me. So It's for a customer, and I didn't really get feedback on color or theme, so when I was going through my paper pack, this just kind of jumped out at me, so I think it's really pretty. So let me cut this one down first, because this one would be the most difficult one. I do the 7 first, but I kind of want to see where the 7 is going to go. Either I want the bottom or I want the top. So see, if I just go 7, it's just going to go to here if I cut from the bottom. But if I cut from here down, I would get that bow at the top, but not much of that bow. You really wouldn't see it with the pocket over it too much. So I think I'm just going to cut from the bottom, and then I can cut from that. That's probably what I'll do. Alright, so I don't need these bags. So I'm just going to cut 7. Oh, I can't cut it on this one. Let me grab my big cutter just so I get a clean line. I don't mind cutting the 7 on this one because I can see the 7, but when it comes to the 6, I don't like it. So there's 7 tall, and then I'm going to cut 6. So I have this piece for making decorations to put in the pockets, and then I'll have this piece here. Just going to go for it right there. Oh, pretty good. And I'll probably use this piece right here. So then I have this piece here for using to make extra items. Alright, so let me go ahead and just cut the rest of these. So I'm going to cut the 7 first. And actually you could make 2 bags out of 1. I was doing that, but now I just take 1 sheet and I make everything I can out of that 1 sheet. I do the bag, which would be out of this 1 piece, and the rest of it I die cut whatever I can. Envelopes, pockets, and all kinds of goodies. So there's that. And then let me cut this one. This is beautiful. Now with these sheet protectors, what's nice is that you can actually see, you know, in the background where this tracing paper kind of mutes it, which is great for things that are kind of like overpowering. That would work out great. But when you're wanting to just see the item, or the background, sorry. Let me take this off. Oops. I have no place to set anything. I have everything around me right now. My little scrap bucket's gone. Okay, so see, with the paper, you can, or with this plastic, you can really see it. It doesn't mute anything. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me cut this. I really want this. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to go 7 here. And then 6. Oops. Come on. I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. Alright, I'm going to use this piece. So let me get rid of this because I won't need that. Will I need that? I will. So I'm just going to set it on the floor so I have to jump for it. I'm going to start right here. Okay. So now if I'm mass making, I decide which one I want. These are pretty much all the same, but what I'm going to do so that I don't get confused, because sometimes I get pulled away, I'm just going to put top here so that I know that's the one I'm using. And then I want this one here, so I'm just going to put top here. And then this one, which one do I want? I think I want this one here, so I'm just going to put top here. And then I have all of these scraps to make things out of. So those are my 3 right there. That's scrap, that's scrap. Okay, so there's my pieces, and these will go on here like so. So now, oh, I will need my cutter. Shoot. I gotta cut the plastic. Well, see this, I have these already pre-cut and in a bin, so, but for my plastic, I'll go ahead and cut that. And I'm gonna need the big cutter. So, I usually cut 6. So then I'm gonna cut, 6 wide. So I'm gonna let me cut this end off first so that it's opened. And sorry, I might be all over the place. Okay, so these are open. I'm just gonna cut one at a time here. So I'm gonna cut 6. So see, you can get a lot out of here. Okay, I did not like that, but that's okay. And then I'm going to cut, my pockets are 6 wide, one is 3.5 tall, and then one is 3 inches tall. But you can make your pockets however you want. Okay, all right, so there's one. This will be for this one here. So I'm just going to stick these in the pocket. Is usually what I do, assembly line, put everything in there. It's ready to go. And then this one here. Get all my pockets cut. Alright, let's see what I got here. That's 6. I can still get some real estate out of this. I think I'm going to do 3.5 here. And then the next one I'll do 3. I'm going to miss my bucket. Let me get something. Just need a scrap bucket to throw this garbage out. Okay, so there's that. So that's 3.5. So I need another 6. Six wide. Hope you can. Okay, I'm not paying attention. All right, I'm going to go 6, and I'm going to push down on here so that it will cut nice. That was better. Make sure you push down on this guard when you're doing the plastic. So I already have the 3.5, so I'm going to do a 3. I was going to have all this cut ahead of time, but I really want to show in its entirety. So there's that one. Okay, this is 6 wide, so I need a 3.5 and a 3. And we'll press down on this guard. That seems to help. And then a 3. And that'll be good. So see, I've got 3, and I got leftover scraps out of 1 page. Okay. So I'm going to put these in here because they do collect, they're kind of static, so they will collect dirt and whatever. So I try to keep everything clean. All right. I might be done with this. Maybe not. No. Okay, so now I need to decide what I want to put on the top of my pockets. So let's see. Let me do the Christmas one first. Sometimes I put lace. I put the 3-inch pocket at the top and the 3.5 at the bottom. That's what I've done on this one here. And I put my top pocket on first, and then I overlay the bottom. And I have them just right for my needs, how I'm making this, so that you don't see that seam on the inside. This is over the top of that, which I like. So if I were to do use somebody's digitals, next time I would use the clear so that you could see, you know, the digital in clear form. So yeah. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, that's a big piece. I'm going to use this piece. This is exactly 6 wide, but I'm going to flip it this way here, and I'm going to make a border. I pulled out 3 of my favorite border dies. This one is my all-time favorite one here. This is Spellbinders, and it makes these borders. You can make them as wide as you want. You know, sky's the limit. I like to use this one a lot, and I think this is the one I'm going to use right here, is this one here. So I'll show you how I do that. And this is how this is the extra large bag. I get these, they're Avery from scrapbook.com, or you can get them anywhere. Amazon has them. So this is the one I'm going to use. Okay, and I have this one here, and I have this one here by Sizzix as well. I like this one too. It's got like doily. I think that's what it's called. And then this one here is how I did this sheet here. This is just the tracing paper, the 45 pound. And I used, oh, I'll have to show you. Try not to make this video too long. I used this one here. What I did was centered it here in the middle of the tracing paper, die cut it out, then I moved it over, right there, moved it over, tried to, you know, line it up. I was able to do that pretty easy. Die cut it out and then put it over here and die cut it again, so that I got a full pocket that's like see-through. So that's really cool. You could put something behind it. I would, if I was going to make it into a pocket, like clear plastic or something, or another sheet of this, or a this is what I've done before, a decorative piece of paper, but if I want to see that in the background, I would just use the clear, and you can kind of just see bits and pieces of that. I think this flashy paper here, you can kind of see it's kind of busy with the all over. I love it with really delicate backgrounds like that with some color. It's really cool. But yeah, sky's the limit on these. Okay, so that's how that works. And you do the same thing with this and this. You just do your own design. You can move it around, and or just do one design. It really, this was just one. You could just do it in the middle and make it wide. It's really cool. I like that. And this is why I package these the way I do, so I can see it. And then I have my sample on the back. Oh yeah, that would work out for my project. I'm a visual learner, so this works for me. So I'm just going to put this back because I think I'm just going to stick with the one today. Okay. So next time you're shopping around for border dies, that's something to think about. And the reason why I'm going the tall way instead of the short way is because I want a little bit of this left over to make a tag. Let me grab one. To make a tag to match the bag. And this is where I would use the extra scrap piece on the top of a tiny tag. So that's why I'm going to turn it this way. I've got more design here, so I'll probably do it here. So I'm going to cut 2 of these. Let's see. Let me move this stuff out of the way again. And I'm going to, and all I do, well, let me cut it first. I know exactly where I need to cut it, which is 1 1/4 wide for what I'm doing here is what I've been doing. And I need 2 of these. So one's going to have more decorative bits on it than the other, but that's okay. So 1 1/4. And then I'll die cut these, and I still have scrap to make something. That will probably be a big tag. Alright, so I'm going to cut this out. And what I'm going to do is line this up at the bottom where I want it at the bottom. Because what it's going to do is going to leave this piece here at the top so that I could sew that on my pocket. And you'll understand when I'm done here. So I'm just going to take some tape. This is just painter's tape. Just going to line that up and tape that. And then I'll have to grab my die cut machine. And I'm just using my, I like the extended platform. If you don't have an extended platform, they've been doing a lot of sales on Sizzix. Now would be a good time to pick one up. And why I say that is because it gives you the extra playroom to set stuff up. That's why I use this extended. And this, I just got this new. My other one, I had it for a really long time and dropped it many times. But and I'm using the Precision base plate. Now it's called Chrome base plate. They still have it available. It's for metal dies. I use it. Do not use this side here. And it even says this is not a cutting surface. Use reverse side. So flip it over. You want to cut on the metal side. It will give you a really clean finish. So let's see, I forgot to grab a cutting plate. Let's see if I got one here. Yep. Okay. And I always put my dies at an angle. This is something I learned from watching Tim Holtz and other crafters. Everything I do is from learning from others. And I'm just going to run this through. And with the metal plate, you shouldn't have to run it through 100 times. One time should get it. And if that doesn't work, put a piece of copy paper up against your die, and that will help. I'm just going to take this off. And the only thing about the precision base plate is that it will warp your dies a little bit, but you can bend them back. I cut thousands of times with these, and I've never had a problem. It all comes down to buying quality name brand products. No shade on the other ones, but you really get what you pay for. Okay, see, it's beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna, this bottom part comes right off. I'm just gonna try to be quick, and I've tried putting a piece of paper in this one here, but it comes out good. It just takes a minute to pop these out. And I wouldn't do that over your machine because the little tiny bits can get down in there and clog up your machine. So try to have a tray or something that you can work in. These are lids that go to containers. I got them years ago at Target in the bathroom section. So look at all your storage solutions, and even in the bathroom section, they have cool stuff. These were only $1 a piece, and they stack. All right, so I need one more of those. That's going to go, I'm trying to be careful with my pocket here because this plastic has a memory. So see, this is going to go on top of here. I'm going to sew this on top of this plastic. So there's one. Let me cut this other one. And then I want to see some of this decoration at the top, so I'm going to put the bottom cutting part at the bottom here. And I'm going to grab a couple new pieces of tape because that die is so intricate that it really tears it up. Okay, that looks good. I mean, you can go through and measure this and get it right, but I'm just going to eyeball it. All right, so let me run this through. And you can get these, Hobby Lobby had these on clearance for just about like half price. I like the glitter ones because it's a reminder of me that it's my top cutting plate. Do not cut on this one. So I was happy to find these there. It just helps. I might only get one done today, but you'll get an idea. I'll try to cut out some of the other trims so you can see. I mean, you can put lace in there. I've put lace in there. And you don't have to sew. I sew them on. You can glue them on. Whatever works for you. I like to sew everything. I used to sew, make my own clothes when I was in school. So now I like to sew on paper. Okay, that should do it. There we go. That's it. All right. Now I'm going to try to keep this clean here. This is just a lint roller. All right, so I just want to decide what will be my top and what's going to be the bottom. This is my top. So that will go, oops, like that. And I will round the corners after I sew everything on. That'll go like that. And then my bottom pocket will go here. And then my top pocket will go here. So I think how the design is, I'm going to put this one here. And then I'm going to put this one down here. It's probably hard to see, but yeah. I do my top pocket first. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. To the length of this here. I could measure it. But I'm just going to line this up. Hard to see. We got snow last night. If you check my Instagram, I got a little short video. Okay, that should do it. I'm just going to trim these off. It's really hard to see. I think I'm just going to use my ruler. And I'm not going to put it through my trimmer because it'll tear it up. I'm just going to go 6 wide. That should be 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Duh. Okay. Is that the right one I want cut off? Yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm just going to give this a quick trim. I'm just using my rotary. So I'm going to save that little piece. Okay, cut this one off. And yeah, I want this end cut off to hold it. So if you've got a mat like this on your table, if you've got enough room to do that, it's great. And I keep one of these for fabric and one for paper. Works out great. So I've got 2 pieces here to make a little tag out of, like this. It would just go at the top of here, like so. All right, there's my pieces. Okay, so now I'm ready to glue these on, and I need something to glue on here. And I'm going to use my 3-in-1 your fabric tack, Fabric Fix. And I'm just going to tack it on there. And I'm basically just going to go around the bottom of this edge here and like on the edge, and then just right there, and that's it, because I'm going to sew up there. So So I'm just gonna hit it real quick just so it hangs on to the pocket. And you can do whatever works for you. Okay, just need my tweezers. And then I'm just going to set this on the top of here. Line it up. My shaky fingers. Okay, looks good. And then on a clean side of the paper, lay it down and give it a good burnish upside down. This will take any of the excess glue off, but be mindful not to go crazy because this plastic has a memory and you can wrinkle it and then it won't look good anymore. Then I'm going to go through. Looks like I need to trim it a little bit more, but that's okay. Just rubbing off any of the excess glue. So there's that one. That one's going to go on there. Let me do this one. These go together pretty quickly if you have everything already cut out. A lot of times I have everything ready to go in the bag itself. So when I get time to make a bunch of these, I just grab everything out and just do it all at once. And then I have them ready. Oops, can't pick this one up. Okay. Just going to try to line this up here, the corner, and just let it lay down. There we go. I'm going to tap it and then try to put it on a clean piece of give it a little burnish. That paper will grab any excess glue. Okay. And then I'm just gonna rub it with my finger on the front. Any excess glue just kind of balls up and collects itself. Okay, so I'm going to give these a quick trim on the end because it looks like my plastic is a little bit longer. Let's see here. Go. That way when I sew it, my stitch line, I won't be cutting that later on, and that'll be ready to go. Let me just line this up. Just know that like these mats, they do warp, so some of the lines are not the same. Like all cutters, the measuring lines are all different, so just be mindful of that. This is just winging it here. Let's see. Sorry, just looking for a piece of scrap paper here to put my tape on. Okay, so now I'm ready to sew. You're not really going to be able to see a whole lot, but you'll get the idea. Let me get this out of the way. see if I can slide this. This is just my, whoops, Bernina that I use for sewing on paper. This is my lower model. And I'm using, I wanted to share the thread because somebody asked me about thread. Sorry. This is the thread I use. Excuse me. I have an embroidery machine and I use this, it's for embroidery, so it's like really silky. It's, it might be polyester. I can't read that. But it's really silky, it's strong, and it looks really good on paper. It's a little bit more expensive, but a lot of times Joann's has buy one get one in their thread or notions. You can take advantage of that and pick up some thread. But yeah, I use that. It's really good thread. It's strong. All right, did I turn on or not? What happened to me? Okay, there we go. All right, it's going to be hard to see, and I do bump up the stitch length. For mine, it's a 3. I'm happy with that. So I'm basically just going to stitch a line on the top side here. So I do have a little bit of cleanup to do here, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to stitch it and then I'll show you. Whoops, sorry. I'm trying to think, what do I want to do here? Do I want to do that? Sorry. And with the slidey paper, you know, like shiny, I always stitch with my needle down. If you have that option, that's great. That'll help from your paper moving around, any type of paper when you're sewing on it. If you can stitch with the needle down position, that works. Okay, that's what it was. My bobbin threader was bumped over. So it's like, I'm not sewing, I'm doing a bobbin. Okay. Thought I was in stuck mode for a moment. And I am going to backspace or backspace. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail so I can tie it. All right, there's one. And I just stitched a line. I just followed along top there. Let me turn this one light on here. I'm having trouble seeing. I've got my overhead light off. Let me see if that helps or not. Yeah, it helps me see. I might have a little glare on some things, but let me see if I can see this now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nope. I usually have to take a picture of something and blow it up so that I can see it. All right, let me sew this real quick. I think I'm already at 44 minutes. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to push this because I'm still going to need it. I do start, like when I start sewing, I start in here, and then I do a back stitch and then keep going. And the reason I do that, so that when I pull my thread, it's not on the end here, it's over here. And because sometimes your thread can get like right here, and then you can't tie them, or they get, you know, they stick out on the end. And the same with when I stopped here, I didn't stop right here. I back stitched maybe like 3 stitches so that my thread is within the project. It's just something I do. It's just a personal thing. But I feel a sneeze coming on. I just pull my threads to the back. I'm just going to try to tie this if I can. It looks like it's already... I did back stitch, so you could, you know, just trim them. But I'm one of those people, I don't like to see tiny little... It's because I used to sew clothes, so everything had to be perfect. So that's why I do that. So I'm just going to tie that off. That way it's behind everything. And then I'm going to take my bone folder, and this is something I learned from Rhonda Winstead. On paper, just burnish the back side of it, and it'll push those threads back down in there so it's not bumped up. And you know, you're putting stuff in and out of the pocket. It really does help. It smooths it out. So thank you, Rhonda, for that. Yeah, go ahead and do this one. I usually use my seam ripper, but you can use that. This helps. Okay. And if you just pull that back thread up, it'll pull the front loop, and then you can just grab it. All right, I'm going to tie these so I can show you how I stitch it on the bag, or not on the bag, but on this piece. So it's nice with that embroidery thread, and it goes a long way. You get quite a bit in these cones. There's quite a bit in there. It goes a long way. I don't put that in my bobbin. I just use bobbin thread. But I use this in the top. Okay, so there's that. I just want to make sure I have a clean surface here, so I'm going to use my lint thing to get any glue bits. Okay. And now I'm going to put my top one on first. That will be the 3-inch one. You can do yours however you want to do it. Decorate it, or you can make more pockets, less pockets. Okay, this is my top. So basically I just line it up here. This is how I do it. And I'm going to put a piece of tape to hold it. And this is because I've done so many and I've got it figured out. And then I just take my ruler and put it on this 1-inch line from the top. It's probably not 1 inch, but that should be 1 inch, yes. This is different. Yeah, it is 1 inch from the top. I just do this. And then I take my pocket, my top pocket. Is that the 3 inch? Yeah. And then I hold this. I need a piece of tape. I have some skinny tape here. All right, hold that, and then I'm going to push that up to there so that I know it's straight. I'm going to make sure it's straight on either side. And I'm going to just tape it down. That's just temporary. So then now I'm going to tape, and you could do it however you want to do it. This just works for me to do assembly line, and then I just tape this top part here. Then I tape this bottom off, being careful not to tear your paper. Now I'm going to stitch this bottom down. I mean, you could glue it, you don't have to stitch it, but I stitch it. I'm going to stitch it. Okay. I'm just wondering, did I do that? No, I didn't. See, this is really rough. It's bumped up, especially with the plastic. So just take your bone folder and just push that back down. I want to do that before I sew it on. It really works. There's that. Okay. And I got my, I have a needle positioner that I can move it around, and I have it set up so it just sews a 1/4 inch there. And I'm having trouble seeing with the plastic. If you have that happen, just take a piece of paper. I'm going to put a piece of tape on the back side of this. If you can't see where you're stitching because of the plastic, I'm just going to take another piece of paper and butt it up against here. And I got that tape on the back to hold it. So now I got a guideline. I'm not going to sew on here, but I'm sewing a 1/4 inch over. This just gives me an eye, a visual. All right, so now I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay. Oops. Wow, I didn't check my bobbin either. I should have put a new bobbin in. I hope I don't run out. So I'm going to just carefully take this off. And that just helped me get a guide. Now see, that ripped my paper. Okay, there it is, the top. Let me carefully take this off. Oopsie, I thought I had my phone on silent. I know who that is. Hang on one sec. Thought I had sorry, I thought I had it on vibrate. This is just my dad. He had to go for blood work. He wanted to let me know he's home. Okay, let me see if I can. Get this done real quick. Okay, they're both in the back. I don't know why these are in the back, so I'm just going to, this one here, I'm just going to tie it, trim it real quick. I just don't want to pull into the front and then you've got a loopy thread that's staring at you. That's my biggest fear. Okay, I don't know why I'm using those scissors. Okay, there's that. All right, so there's the top pockets on. So now I'm going to put the bottom pocket on. I'm going to put it in place, and now I can just tap it and get it down to where it needs to be. And I'm going to tape it up here. So see, it covers up that stitch line that I just did. So this system worked out pretty good, where it's 7 tall for these bags and then 6 wide, and then the top pocket is 3 inches tall, and then this one's 3.5. So it works out pretty well. I mean, you can put, I'll show you after I do this, you can use lace. I have some lace pulled out here, but I'll put that out so I don't forget to show you. Okay. All right, let me tape this, and just don't want it to ruin my, I'm just going to show you what I do is just secure that pocket there. Because what I'm going to do is sew all the way around. Now see, I got a little thread poking out there, and I don't know why. Okay. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to put a little bit of glue just to hold it, because this stuff is really slidey and it can pucker. Just a tiny bit of glue under here, right? Let me flip it over. Right here, where these top pockets are, just a little bit of glue there. Come on. And right here, get that drying. So when you do an assembly line, I usually do all of these and then go through and sew them all. Just so this stays put. Okay. All right, let me press that down. And now, before I sew it, and this is optional too, you don't have to. I like the look of the rounded corners. So I'm using the, it's a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to use my corner chomper here. Oops. And I'm just going to drop it in with the paper side on the back side to support it, and give it a chop here. It's not so bad at the top when you just have the paper, but when you have the plastic too, you just want to drop it in and kind of angle it so it's just laying in there and you can get a clean cut. So that went pretty well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way around. If you can see on this one here that I made, I sewed all the way around. So I'm going to start here, right here, to secure that. And I don't know why that little thread is bothering me. All right. Okay, crazy town. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It'll take me a minute to do that. I'm going to start here and come all the way around. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it to the bag here. And I just use, I think this is a quarter, the red line tape. I get it at Hobby Lobby. And I put that on the back side of this after I sew it and then stick it down. So let me sew this real quick. I don't know how quick, but okay, come on. All right, I just want to make sure I'm set up good. Okay, what is going on? So, okay, that's weird. All right, here I go. Wish me luck. And I'm gonna take my time because this stuff can pucker and then it won't look good. When you get to the corners, if you have the needle down option, that's what I would use because this is so slick and it can catch on your foot. Lift your needle up, pivot just a little bit on the corner. I do like maybe 2 or 3 times. Do 1 stitch, pick up your foot, pivot just a little bit, put it back down, do 1 stitch. So I do about 3, depending. Okay, it looks like it's going to be 4, but this helps give you a clean finish, because when you're trying to turn it while you're sewing, it's just pushing everything around. Okay. Now I'm going to stop because my pocket wants to pucker on me. I'm going to pull this tape off really carefully not to rip. I really need to try that mint green tape or whatever. I need to get some of that, because this painter's tape, if you use it many times, it can rip your paper. It gets tacky or sticky or whatever. Okay, so that's helping my pocket to lay down a little bit. Now when you get to a pocket like this and you're coming at it, it's best to do a stitch, lift your foot up and make sure everything is pushed down. Take a stitch until you're into the pocket. That way it doesn't pucker and push the opposite direction. Okay, there we go. I got a cutter here I can utilize. All right, that's it for the sewing machine. Oy. Okay, so now I just want to push all this down so that my tape is gonna stick pretty good. I'm really upset about that ripped, but it's on the back, so it's not gonna show. Okay, let me pull these to the back. Look how pretty, isn't that pretty? Very pretty. Well, it might not. If you pull on it and the thread won't come out, I backstitched on the first go, but when I ended, I did not backstitch, so I'll just tie this one and then clip the rest. This is a great, just to do mass making, and I just do pieces at a time, and it goes a lot quicker. Well, okay. Now I'm going to put my tape on. Oh, it's right here. And this is just, I'm pretty sure it's 1/4, yeah. And I can get quite a few bags out of one of these rolls. I tested it, counted how many bags I got out of one, so it's pretty good. And I'm going to go a little bit past, and I do the long edges first, the sides, and then I'll show you. I'm going to go a little bit past so it sticks out a little bit, and then I'll come back in and push the actual gluey tape in. This sticks it down pretty good. I used to use the 3-in-1 glue, and I did not like that process. I didn't like how it looked, how it felt. This is perfect. So, all right, so now I'm going to burnish this down. And then I'm going to peel this back a little bit where I went overboard, just because I want that corner to have glue. Come on. Well. Okay, I got it. And then I'm just going to push this back there. And I know I've seen somebody do it, but I can't remember. Let's see if I can get this. Nope. I just got to burnish that little corner. Okay. I got quite a bit there. Oops. Come on. Oh boy. There we go. So I'm just going to push that glue back in so it's not sticking out. Otherwise it'll get stuck on everything that it comes in contact with. So, oh, I got one more here. Okay. Just rolling it in. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so now it's ready to go on the bag. I'm just going to put this down. No rhyme or reason, just so that it doesn't move on me. Then I'm going to take my, now this is the reason why I put top too, so I don't, when I'm doing a whole bunch, don't get disoriented. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to move it to the front and just tack it with a piece of tape. And I really want a small piece of, oh, I got some over there. I just want a piece of tape. And I learned this from, I'm sure, Jennifer McGuire, doing cards. Watch those card makers, they're pretty clever. Okay, ooh, that's a big piece. Just want a big piece. I'm just tacking it to the front here. Then I'm going to remove my top piece. Then it gives me wiggle room to line up my bottom. I'm just eyeballing. Like that. Look pretty good. And then push my top down so that's stuck. And before I remove my sides, let me get rid of this. I'm going to remove this bottom piece. Oop. Come on. This stuff is pretty good stuff. It sticks really good. So then I can take these off carefully. Hopefully you saw all that. And then just pull these out. There you go. Oh, they like to stick to you. Then I'm going to give it a good careful burnish because I don't want to train wreck anything. Just so I know that it's down and nothing's going to get stuck underneath it. There it is. And that's it. That's my bag. This is my pink Christmas one. And I've been signing and dating the back just so they know where it came from. If they re-gifted or find it years later, like, oh yeah, she made that. I just want to show you, like this one here, I just did the trim, the lace trim at the top. This is that trim you get from Dollar Tree. It's really reasonable and it's good quality. But I just want to show you, like, let me show you on this one here. Oops, I don't want to ruin these. Here you could well, that's probably not a good. This one here is some smaller trim. You could put, you know, like a lacy trim. I don't know if that's the right direction, but you could put this on. I've done this, and then I've wrapped, I cut a piece of cardstock. Like this, and then scored it. Oops. You can score it in half, if I can here. It's quite a big piece. Probably not going to work out, but it's just hard for me to see here. Okay, there we go. The struggle is real with these scoreboards, I tell you. That worked out pretty good. Okay. Okay. So then just take a small strip and do it however you want. You know, how wide you want it. And I would just get it flat. And what I usually do is use some, I would use this, a piece of this, so it matches. So then my lace would go here. I'm not going to cut it because I'm not sure. I do like that on there, but so I would glue some of this on here like this, and that's probably upside down, but yeah, I would do it like this, probably like that. Then tack it down with your glue. Then you would put this on top, and what I usually do, let me just cut this. Okay. Okay. Then I would just open this up, and I would leave, like, see how that scored one's shorter side than the other? I don't know if you can see that, but I just open this up and I take my glue and I just put it down the center like that, right in that center line. Once my lace is on here, I might have to do another video. Then I got my glue. This is already tacked on. And then I shove this in there once the glue's on. Nothing's cooperating because I don't have it the way I want it, but yeah, you get the idea. But this goes on there. This thing is just, you gotta make sure you get it real good and flat. There we go. So see, it's on there. This would get tucked up underneath there, or you could do another one of these decorative things. You can do anything you want, just keep layering. But this would go underneath there. Let me see if I can get it in there. Okay. Then this would get tucked up underneath there, or whatever you want to use, and then I would just stitch a top line on there so everything looks finished, you know, is what I would do. So it's probably what I'm going to do with this one. I don't know if I have anything. A lot of my laces are kind of big. Like, this is really pretty. If I had something small like this, I'll have to look through and see what I have. But yeah, even, let's see if this will lay down a little bit better. This is got, oh, that's pretty. If I had this as the top border piece, and I would just trim these little things off, you know, it's like decorative on both. I would just get that smooth on the top, trim it. See, that could go under there, and then you just you're just basically putting a top piece on. But you could basically do anything you want, and you could still see underneath there. I would probably trim this down, but this would work. So the endless possibilities with these, and yeah. All right, well, that's it. I hope that was helpful and gave you ideas. You don't have to sew everything on. I like the look of the sewing, and I like having something to reinforce the top pocket. You can make your pockets however you want. You could do bigger bags, or next time, I have a stash of these that I got a good deal on. So when these are gone, I'm going to get smaller bags that are only, I think they're 6 by 9 maybe. I'm not sure. Look. But yeah, I like that. That came out really good. So now what I would do is take my scraps, which is this piece and this piece. Is that it? Yep. And make things to put in the pockets out of these, and then coordinating other things. So yeah, okay, that's my lunch sack trick, and hopefully you got some ideas and put your own spin on it. So it'd be great to see you all making these. So all right, that's it. Take care. Leave me a thumbs up. Comment if you like. Say hello. And stay warm. Bye.